Good evening, everybody, and welcome to what is essentially round 5 of RWB's GT2 League. We're at Nurburgring tonight. This is Tiger, obviously. You know my voice by now. Special guest number 2 with me tonight, which is our very own Rodders. Rodders, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Tiger.
Excellent. Now, Rodders, let's flick on to Rodders now. Now we've come live a little early, actually. We can see Rodders there in the just before the Coca-Cola curve, and Rodders is going to take us around for an orientation lap. So, Rodders, anytime you're ready to go. So, just short of the Coca-Cola curve. Rodders is in the rough tonight, the rough 12R. All right, we're on the start-finish straight. Over to you, Rodders.
No, so I'll try and do a bit of talking without crashing. It's not one of my fortes, but it's coming into the first here, and braking point's important. This is classic running wide in the first lap when your brakes are cold. Just regard there'll be at least a third of the field tonight will end up probably running a bit wider than they want there. I just would say in general, Nurburgring's one of those tracks that every corner counts. I find there's no corners where you just kind of point it and go through.
One of your favourite tracks?
I wouldn't say so. I like it, but there's just something about the flow of it. It doesn't.
Really great corner, this Dunlop curve. I noticed you brake quite late into there, don't you?
Yeah, and you want to go on the gas early. It's got a nice bank to it, so you can. Now, a lot of people in that corner like to go on over the side, just coming into it. But I just don't know. I think it is faster overall. But I don't like how it unsettles the car, so it's not something I tend to do.
Yeah.
On this, that corner's essential to get on the gas early, but especially in this Porsche, it tends to understeer. You've got to hold back before you do it, or you do what I've done there. Oh god, I'm thinking this is the different chicane.
This is the extended chicane, yep. Extended NGK. And there we go, finishing a lap with a time of 1:56.462. Bloody marvellous, thank you very much. Well, there you go, that's our very own Rodders. You've seen him plenty of times zipping around out there at usually in the first.
The rule of thumb is if I have to speak I lose at least 10 seconds a lap, so to take that off you'll have.
Well, actually, before we went live, I did say to him, "Look, do me a favour, just go at 80 to 90%. Don't ruin it for yourself." But coming towards the end of practicing, and we're going to go straight into qualifying. 15 minutes worth of qualifying, then we've got an hour, 5-minute warm up, then we've got an hour's worth of a race. So, quick question to you, Rodders. Before we've got plenty of time to talk about the track and so forth. So, quick question to you is. Currently we've got Brandon Dove leading. He's not actually out there tonight, he's preparing for 24-hour. We've got Jake Moore in second, Helmet third, and C-Sam in fourth. Who are you particularly looking at tonight?
Helmet as ever, he's been very hungry since he come back. Speed is going to be up there, and he loves this track the best of the time, so I think he'll be hard to beat. And a lot of the usual suspects like C-Sam and others, but I think Helmet's got the appetite for this, and probably the best chance of winning it the league overall. So
yeah,
definitely to watch, and Rigel as ever.
And C-Sam's not out on track at the minute, but we'll click to him as soon as we can. But I was watching C-Sam earlier on. I thought, crikey, what's that 4-wheel steering? He was drifting this caddy all over the place. Very clearly very comfortable in that car.
He's a bit like the chap Ulrich that was in the endurance race on TX3. He likes a loose car, and when you're racing near them, you think they're out of control, but they're not. It's funny to watch though. You just the disbelief during the endurance race from Debug about Ulrich being able to hang on to the car.
Yeah, crikey, it was the Celine, wasn't it? It's
Yeah.
quite unbelievable that, and a very old school car, you know, more about power and torque rather than sort of aerodynamics or suspension setup or anything else. Very old school sort of car.
Yeah,
He handled
but
it absolutely well, didn't he?
I think there was an element of his signal was amplifying the effect of the slides. It wasn't as severe as it looked on the stream, but certainly, him and Sam have a similar profile when you're watching them race.
Now, we were just looking at Helmet there, who just came off just before the Coca-Cola curve.
Yep,
We're riding currently with Speed Demon, just coming around the Coca-Cola curve now. Now, he's on the Corvette tonight. He's done pretty well in this car. I mean, crikey, he could probably go around on a BMX and still be up there, but he's very, very good in this car.
Yeah, I actually forgot he was in the Vet. Yeah, the Vet's a great car. I think like most of the GT2 are, and yeah, he won't have any trouble with that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I noticed you were in the rough. Helmet's in the rough. Quite a few others in the rough. The rough being the sort of works, independent works group of the Porsche. 0 to 60, 3.2 seconds. In the day, I say in the day, I mean that was 2011. Crikey, I had a diesel that went faster than that. But anyway, 350 kilometers an hour. So what's 350 kilometers about an hour? That must be 180. 180, is it?
350's over is 200, is it? I thought 330 was 200.
I think you're right. I mean, it must be able to do something like that in that big old flat six, 550 horsepower, something like that. But Jake in the Corvette out there. Who else is out in the Corvette? We've got John D is also out in the Corvette. Now, John D is Jake's teammate.
Yep.
And as a team, they're well in front of anyone else. I mean, they're 250 points at the minute.
Yeah.
In the Norwegian Alien team.
Well, I think FX and me clearly had but we've been fraught with bad fortune and sabotage, some would say.
FX though, fair play to FX, because FX is doing very, very well in the championship. He's currently running 7th, I believe. Just flicking on to FX there. He also is in the rough. Oh look, friends together, twins, same livery as yourself. Actually, I'm all for that. I think it makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. You know, if you're going to be in the same team, at least be in the same car. But, and that's a good. I think that's a good sort of rule of thumb. But he's had a couple of cracking races, hasn't he, FX?
Yeah, he really enjoys the Porsche. He did talk. He came to me just before the race because I didn't even think he would make it. I think he's rather unprepared, so I expect we'll actually see him settle in during the race. You know, maybe not qualify too high. But yeah, he loves that Porsche.
Awesome. Well, okay, so let's put that onto Auto Director at the minute. Currently leading is Speed Demon with a 153.180. Mark Bean, flicking on to Mark Bean there with a 154.013. Then we've got Justin Madley with a 154.376 in the BM, which is good news for him. So Nurburgring, that's where we are. Most of you will know Nurburgring fairly well. Certainly those of you from RWB have raced this a lot. If you're watching this stream as a casual YouTuber channel hopper, then Nurburgring is in the heart of Germany. GP circuit, this one, 3.1 miles, 5.1 kilometres. There is actually an extended chicane. It's a newish sort of layout to race room, but it's not a new layout on the actual in real life. And that's just the NGK chicane is extended out from what is essentially a sort of second stroke first gear into a third gear chicane. 15 corners, 9 right, 6 left, 1 parabolica, 1 bolica. We know what a parabolica is, Rodders?
I've elected to go with the same in, same out description.
Yeah, that was TK, wasn't it? When I said saying in, saying out. There you go. You can always rely on a Yorkshireman. It's a corner of equal radius, but 2 hairpins, 1 chicane, 11 named corners, and you know, it is a great track. Of course, it's the GP circuit, which is bolted on, if you like, to the Südschleife and the Nordschleife, that which is known as the North Loop and the South Loop, and once called the Green Hell by Sir Jackie Stewart, and goes all the way back since 1927, when it terrified drivers when it first came about. But in those days, of course, the inevitable, or the infamous, I should say, Nordschleife that most of us know about, because we've watched those YouTube videos of people stacking it. That was the whole circuit, you know, and what was essentially nearly 17.5 miles. I mean, that's some hell of a distance. I mean, in those days, clearly you had other tracks like Monza with the historic addition, the Loop, the Monza Loop, and of course Le Mans and so on. But you can actually go around Nordschleife yeah, you can on Race Room, can't you? Yeah, Nordschleife.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
And it's a bloody good track. It's a lot of fun, and it doesn't take actually long, does it not, before you actually are fairly confident around there?
No, do you mean the full Nordschleife?
Yeah, the full North Loop.
If you just drive it, you know, a good number of laps, it's like anything, you just start to naturally get a feel and a memory for it. But it's obviously to master. Is I think it was Jackie Stewart actually, I remember saying in a 1970s drive around Nordschleife with him that, you know, you never feel you've done the perfect lap, and you know, he knows the track. Like he can talk you around every corner and camber of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you never master it, I don't think.
The wonderful Jackie Stewart, who actually you could put on a pedestal and say there is the man of the modern safety conscious of motor racing, particularly during the 60s, where an awful lot of drivers, and certainly in the early 70s, where an awful lot of drivers were killed needlessly, really, because of basic safety precautions around the tracks and so on. The safety that we see around tracks in the real life, you know, you know, if you could personify the safety, they are the grandchildren of modern safety that Jackie Stewart actually brought into into motor racing.
Yeah, it was central to it.
Absolutely, yeah.
There was I tried to find the name of it actually, and I couldn't, or it was something I caught once on telly. It was essentially a kind of about how dangerous it was back then, and then it drifted into Jackie Stewart years and how he started to spearhead safety.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I just could not get the name of it.
Yeah, hugely, and actually, and this is not planned, but this is a great segue actually, because you've got two iconic figures in motorsport that really can encapsulate, you know, not going by the book, stepping out of the boundaries and saying this ain't right. Just because it's written down doesn't make it right. Jackie Stewart done that, just as we see C-Hacks there go grass cutting, but Jackie Stewart, or Sir Jackie Stewart, certainly done that with regards to safety around circuits. And the other one was Niki Lauda, and that was particularly about safety for drivers in all different contexts, in the pits, the way in which they were lining up, and the driver discipline. And ironically, the day before his horrific accident on the 1st of August in '76 at Nurburgring, although on the Nordschleife, just before, for those of you who know it, just before Bergwerk, which is, let me see now, very, I was going to say going down the long bit before the double right, but that doesn't actually explain very well where that is.
I can't help you much.
So that's where he had his awful accident there, of course, and the rest is history. And sadly, we lost him not so long ago. But a wonderful man, just like as we see C-Hacks there, who has favoured the P45, hasn't he?
Yeah, to be honest, he kind of spearheaded its use. Most of us had written it off as the GT2 car that no one would use, and I think slightly out of a roguish nature, he decided to see if he could do something with it, and before we knew it, I think there's 6 or more of them in the league. So it's a lovely looking car. I must, to watch on the screen. It's nice to watch going around the track.
Yeah. Well, let's jump in cockpit with him, shall we? And there we go. It's almost like being inside an F14, Tomcat. It's like being in a cockpit, isn't it?
Aye, visibility's just an afterthought. You've got great visibility up to the left to see planes that maybe were trying to shoot you, but otherwise...
Fox one. Yeah, Fox one. But I suppose that's the challenge of it. I mean, it's certainly not the fastest car out there. And as you say, in the right hands, exceptionally capable. And we've seen C-Hacks and a couple of the other guys who who've lent towards the P45 really sort of put it up there, haven't we?
Do you know, I think, and you say if you spend time with it, I think it is as quick as any of the other cars, and it's better in some ways. I know it wasn't my cup of tea, but loads of people are making the most of it and showing what it can do, and it's up in the leaderboards as well. It's fairly common, so
yeah. Well, we got 22 runners out there tonight, Rodders. 22 runners. Let's have a look. A quick rundown of the time as we can see them on the left now. Now, a heads up, ladies and gents, and that is that there have been some issues with the timings. And as we get through the race, you may start to see that the time differentials between each cars don't actually correlate. But we'll do our best, Rodders and I, here with the information we got.
Just wait a second. John D, Speed's teammate. I think there's been some coaching going on.
I think there has.
Fantastic. John has been building in confidence noticeably recently, but fantastic. It's going to make the front very interesting because we've got. I'm not going to include Speed Demon just to make this sound better, but from second place, you're going down to 11th before a second's kind of passed, just over a second, 11th, 10th. So that's going to.
Well, that is exceptional. But to be frank, that's what happens to you when you hang around with an alien by osmosis. You're going to get. You can, and that's not to take any time away from what's qualifying now, a minute and a half. I'm sure we'll cover this later on with some training initiatives, etc. But Speed is exceptionally good at that. I think I've said this before, so I'll say it very, very quickly. One night that guy stuck to me less than 0.2 of a second behind. Sorry, 1/10 of a second behind me around Spa. I was going as fast as I could, and even then, it wasn't fast enough. And he was just kept saying to me, "Don't worry about me. You just keep worrying about you. I just want you to get used to you seeing someone in your mirror. Don't ignore me. Just drive as fast as you can." Clearly, he was getting some of his own sort of training out of it, but more importantly, it made me feel more comfortable with someone that close behind me. An exceptional character, an exceptional ability, and I know we can talk more about it later, but I know there's plans for perhaps to spread the love amongst RWB.
Oh, definitely, and we'll maybe try and discuss that. I just quickly wanted to point out that the most interesting thing there for me is helmet. Yes. I thought that Porsche was struggling around there compared to the other cars, and that kind of confirms it for me. I don't know why, it feels fairly good, but it's just struggling against the other manufacturers here.
Yeah. Right, well, there's our rundown there. Speed Demon, John D. They're the same team. Excellent, just bloody marvellous to see John D up there. Quick racer anyway, but clearly coached by his teammate. That's what teammates are all about. Then you've got Mark Beam, Rick Binnersley, Justin Madley, C-Sam. We'll see him later in that Cadillac. Quite unbelievable how he handles that. Shout out to Miko Intenza. Great to see you out there. Be careful. The last time I saw you out there, you drove like a Wally. I'm sure that won't happen tonight. If you do, you'll get a shout out on the stream. But we wish you well anyway.
You'll remember. You'll remember.
He will remember indeed. 22 runners. We've now got 4.5 minutes of a warm up. Audi out there tonight in the Cadillac. I don't believe Audi's actually in the championship per se for points, but out there showing a presence tonight. No,
and just to quickly cover that, it's generally we don't allow people to join the leagues late on. Audi's been here for so long, and the league is an extension, so we have allowed him to race. But yeah, he's been under strict orders to behave. Aye, it's just really we've had instances before where we've let people in for all the right reasons, because we love being able. The more people we can get to race, the better. But then there's been incidents, and it's caused a wee bit of bad sentiment with people that had some skin in the game. But we are. It is a discretion. It's a general rule. We don't. That's the default setting. But discretion seemed to be the better choice this time around for Audi.
Yeah. Now, do you know what the definition of a nemesis is, Rodders?
Well, it's kind of like a mortal enemy, but I know that's a simplification.
Well, best of friends off track, respectfully of each other on track. Mortal enemies push each other hard on the track. A righteous infliction of retribution manifested through an appropriate agent. This man, Rigel. What are we expecting to see from Rigel, from your nemesis tonight?
Again, I think he's finding the Porsche tough. I should have actually pointed that out. The fact that Helmet and Rigel are that far down. I'm not going to say I could confirm it's the patch. It might just be the track. But the Porsche does seem to be struggling against where you would think Rigel would be a bit higher up the standings. But as ever, I guarantee he'll finish higher than he starts.
Yeah, absolutely. Exceptionally talented. If I could just have just one hair from him and one hair from you, I think I could go upstairs with a bit of potassium permanganate and a bit of copper sulfate and make some genetic drink to have for breakfast.
I think out of MD in the club over the years, Rigel and I have developed kind of we love beating each other, but we love racing each other. It's we both get maximum glee when we beat one another, but we don't begrudge the other person when we do it. It's kind of a perfect kind of competitive spirit with the guy. So yeah.
Well, if there's one thing you can guarantee with Rodders and Rigel out there, who are in fairly sort of similar cars, similar pace, or in the same sort of racing area, the same sort of battle space, let's call it, is that you get close, hard, respectful racing. And there are many members where you can guarantee that, but it is an absolute guarantee, no different than I know I'm going to enjoy this film if I go and see a James Bond film. You're going to see something special when you see Rodders and Rigel battling out there. So there's your nemesis. We wish him well, and I'm sure he'll do absolutely marvellous. Now, Bean, just a quick one in the last minute and a half here, last minute and 20 odd seconds. Bean out there in the BMW. Now he's gotten quicker and quicker and quicker. And when I first joined RWB nearly a year ago, he was a sort of middle runner. Now he's right up there, isn't he?
Yeah, to be fair, Bean's always at the pace, but he's now got the consistency to match it. Honestly, it's as simple as that. Although it's not simple to get there. He's racing fantastic and keeps nipping on Speed's heels at times. So
yeah. This man, Justin Madley, talk to me about Matt. He's just building his own rig out of mild steel and iron ore. It needs a crane to take it to his house, but and Madley again is someone who's getting quicker and quicker, and he was quick before in sort of middle runners, amongst middle runners, but it's not unusual to see Madley in the top sort of areas either lately.
No, I think Madley's one you really notice when he's got the time to put into it, because he can come right in the top half, but you can see him slip down into the bottom half sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but he's a good solid runner.
Talk to me about tyres, Rodders. If you were out there, we only got about 10 seconds to go, but some are on hards, some are on softs. If you were running, what would be your first lot?
I didn't do enough prep to really be sure, but in this league, there's been a tendency to gain an advantage by running hards first. I think because of the fact that when you're in a tighter pack, you're impeded more. So
yeah.
You want the best is to have every soft lap with a clear air in front of you to maximise the gain on them, which you're going to get later in the race. But it's not always the case. I genuinely don't know for this track. I just haven't done enough practice or really spoken to anyone about what their strategy is.
Yeah, well, that'd be very interesting to find out. Of course, they've got to do a pit stop and they've got to change tyres. I believe they've got to change compounds as well. So if they're on hards, they've got to go to softs, right?
Great.
Excellent. 30 seconds left to go. Very exciting. Up into T1, that very tight, 160 degrees corner. Put too much power down on there, and you're going to fish towel.
Yep.
Interesting to see how these two Corvettes. Great to see them right at the front there. The Speed Demon and John D.
Yeah, watch for the late breakers. It's just it's so hard to judge this first corner when to brake right, but
yeah. Okay, and they're away. Okay, John D on the inside, Speed Demon on the outside. John D lost a place already to third place, coming into T1. Let's go for a really wide shot. We're going to look at Helmet, who's smack bang in the middle. About 4 or 5 wide there. A little bit of door scraping, but nothing too serious.
come on,
Into
boys.
T1. Come on now. Play it sensibly. Oh, a few going wide now. A few going wide. But managed to make it all the way around, I think.
Yeah,
Mark Bean has, gone in front of Speed Demon and John D, but the 3 yellow cars there into Mercedes Arena, and Mark has got the line there. Old Mr. Bean has got the line, certainly coming down into Valvoline. But all round, all clean at the minute, Rodders. Feel free to jump in any time.
No, looking good, looking good. I've got my eagle eye open.
Yes. My heart rate is now about 140. And
it's weird. It's like I get the same feeling when the race starts as if I'm driving. It's like memory muscle in my heartbeat.
On the wing then with Mark Bean looking back to Speed Demon, who in turn is in second place, looking back to John D, third place, looking back to the rough of Helmet. You heard Rodder say earlier on there, usually Helmet is right up there, very good with his setups, currently running in fourth place. Helmet looking back, clearly a gap now, 1.15 seconds to Rick Binnersley in the BMW, now being challenged, a wide shot there, so you can see the other BM, and I think it was both BMs actually of Pinpoint and the Cadillac of Audi there, right behind Audi. CSAM, amazing. We will see more of him later. You can see the long line of cars.
I know, it's
all the way there,
totally packed.
Mark Bean keeping his pace,
Beans has got a wee gap. It's not as if he's sneaked past Speed. What you often find is you get past Speed at the start. I've done it many times, but he's just stuck to your rear. That's not happening there. So
no points to note. Mark Bean is on soft tyres. Speed Demon is on hard. John D hard. Helmet hard. Binnersley hard. Pinpoint on soft. So between
that's all that is. The BMW is also phenomenal. It's one of the best cars when it's new rubber, but it has the biggest drop off once they wear. So Bean's better make the most of it. What sort of lap
do you think? About 14, 15? You think these will drop off?
I reckon before that, if I'm honest. There's a lot of corners that they're banked, they're heavy, you're really leaning on the tyres. So I reckon we'll start to notice his laps dropping after about 10 laps.
Wow. With Speed Demon then, just coming out of Ford curve down into the Dunlop curve, and look at that, Mark Bean at the front there, just coming into Dunlop now, and on the wing with him, you can see there's that, clear air there, there's nobody there, but he's on soft tyres. If you were in second place now, which is not somewhere where it's not unusual for you to be, you'd know he was on soft tyres, would you be sort of gently smiling, know that he's going to fall off the track and that he needs to exploit the opportunity and gain as much distance away from you as possible?
I would be initially holding my chin, thinking, then I would see how much of a gain he was getting each lap. If it was under a second, I would be smiling. If it was over, I would be furrowing my brow. So that's a kind of rule of thumb. So you're looking for the gap and how quickly it grows.
Yep. Riding with CSAM now in 6th place. The reason why I've done that is because there's this glob of cars behind him. Jorgen Walby there in the BM being challenged by Pinpoint. Pinpoint again in the same livery. I'm not sure if they're teammates. I don't think they are. Flicking to a wider shot. Yeah.
Look at that chicane. It's so much better. It lets the racing flow.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
I don't actually understand why they do that. I know Oschersleben in here, it's the motorcycle version of the chicane that's the nice one, but the car one's this horrible right-angled monstrosity. I personally, I really don't like corners that you have to slow down that much for. I just don't get them, but
it does certainly ruin the flow of Nurburgring. There's no doubt about that. Just looking at the inside there, and an extension away, and just taking him there, Pinpoint. Great driving from him there in the Mercedes Arena as he now comes down into the Valvoline. That was a good bit of driving there.
Yeah, good defence, Pinners. He is a good solid driver. His concentration just varies sometimes, as I'm sure he'll admit. But when he's on point, he's on pinpoint.
Yeah. Now, just notice at the front here a battle between Helmet and Rough. Helmet
Nice.
and Rough. Helmet in the rough. Helmet in the rough. In front of John D there, riding with Helmet. On the wing with Helmet. Did we expect that? I think we probably did. We expected a bit of a challenge, really, did we? From sort of like third onwards.
Yeah, I'm guessing that John's maybe not as solid in the hards as the softs, and Helmet's just better with them, because it looked like there was a reasonable differential in pace from the quali laps. But no, it doesn't surprise me Helmet's doing that. The amount of practice he does in the race, that's when it pays dividends. So.
Yes. Now Audi in the Cadillac there, surprisingly, you know, looking left and right, almost all over John D actually. Of course, these buddies are these lads are country buddies. But look at this, Audi has got the drive. That Cadillac has really got some top end on that, hasn't it?
It's the best straight line in the class, I think.
Absolutely marvellous. 2 cars in one run as Audi takes John D and Helmet now coming into the. Yeah, absolutely. But if he stays this line, I think he's lost that line now. But clearly that Cadillac, I mean, crikey, holy moly, it was almost like he had another gear.
Oh, that was close.
A little bit of a scrape there, yeah. Great. Okay, Charger is also in the Cadillac there, and on the wing with on the wing with Charger, being challenged by Rigel. Actually, let's ride with Rigel. Looking at Charger.
You see very often in a league race.
No, you're absolutely
rivalry.
Right. Yeah, and no, it's not. You're right. You don't get to see it, but you know, fair play. It's rare that you actually see. And there's no disrespect to Charger, of course not. I mean, how can you disrespect Charger? Do you know Charger's just got an award? Actually, did you know that? He just got an award. He got an award from Pinewood Studios. What they've done is they went back through all the childhood actors during the late 60s and early 70s. And what yeah, all the extras. There was an extra cast of 1,000, and what they've done was they picked out those young actors who had the biggest impact on the film sets. And Charger was nominated and won. He was an extra on Oliver. Absolutely, an extra on Oliver, and as a result of that, he's got an award for it. It's called the Knobhead Award.
Fair, yeah. You know, I was amazed, but I was also thinking, what was the award for?
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. Nice.
Yeah, Knobhead Award. We'll come back to that later when it's less lively. Okay, C-Hacks then in the P45 challenging Rigel there, just slipped in front of Fergie in the LGBTQ plus minus divided by 38. Fergie just goes off there, holy moly. Commentators curse.
C-Hacks, whether or not that was Fergie pushing it or Hacks not reading room, can't tell.
We're with Marco now. Marco in the black BMW. Good to see you out there, Marco. Don't see enough of you. Come back. Fergie, as we saw, just had that little bit of off into the Mercedes arena. Rick Binnersley down there in 14th place in the BMW.
Something must have happened to him. He was he not about 4th or 5th in quali?
Certainly. Yeah. I mean, he qualified well, I'm pretty sure. So I think, Justin Madley has also slipped down in that black and red BMW. Miko Etenza in the grey rough there. Good to see you out there, Miko. Again, we're watching. Flack down in 17th place. Good to see you out there, Flack, the graphics master. FX taking his time in the orange and white rough. Your team buddy there.
Just steady there, FX. You can do it.
And that's Fergie again. That was Fergie again.
That's him out. He's
retired. Retired. Damage is on, ladies and gents, but I didn't see anything that would warrant, full damage. So not sure what's happening there. Could be a hardware issue. I know he's had some. Medicine Skull. a newer member to RWB, but really proving quite capable.
No, completely. I see. I didn't finish my sentence there. If I had, he would have spun. So there we go.
Quite capable. We'll do you a favour, Menacing. We'll move off you.
Yes.
Beer down there in 19th place. Also in the rough. Then we've got Ben Davis, orange. Unusually not in an orange livery, which of course is my favourite colours, being a tiger. Frederico's Vanguard, and of course Fergie, who has retired. Back to the front runners now. Mark Bean doing an exceptional job. 10 seconds now, Rodders.
Well, just remember the time. I'm just going to say obviously the timings are unreliable due to a game bug at the moment. So that looks about 3 to 4 seconds gap, I would say. He's opened up.
Do you know what? I think do you know what? I'm not to poo-poo, but I think FX has done some wizardry, and I think that. Oh, as I said that, now we've gone from 16 to 19 to 36. That's clearly not right, is it?
It's not anything we can fix, unfortunately. I believe it's coming from the code. It's jumbling the source numbers up, so...
well, it's certainly got a gap there, and you reckon what, about 6-7 seconds, something like that?
I think it's less. Let's say about 5. Let's just count. 1. Oh.
And we can just see him there. We can just see there. We're riding with Speed Demon there. Let's do a count.
I'll do a count, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 to 6 seconds.
Spot on. 6 seconds, yeah. On the wing with Speed Demon, got a Audi currently in 3rd place in the Cadillac. Now, will we see Audi come round there? Let's have a look. We can't see anything yet. There he is, there at the end of the straight, and in cockpit there we just see a little tiny dot disappearing out in the ether there, as if it's some form of UFO, which of course it is.
So he needs to stretch out as big a gap as he can now, Audi, because he's on softs as well as does Pinpoint.
Yes. With Pinpoint coming down into first corner T1. Yeah, and there's that group behind there, isn't there? With you know, John D, C-Sam, Warby, and Charger.
All on hards.
Yeah, all on hards. Yeah. Which is your favourite? No, it's perhaps a stupid or misnomic question, because of course you're running in the rough, the Porsche for the GT2 League. But of all the cars that are available for the GT2 class in Race Room, which is your least, which is your favourite, which is your least favourite?
My favourite's the Porsche, and my least favourite's the P45.
Right. And is that down to visibility?
No, it's down to the sound and the way I feel when I'm driving it, and the sound.
Oh no, sorry, I mean the P45 for the least.
Aye, because the sound of it, it's just the other cars have such a great sound. I just feels, and I don't like the way it drives either, if I'm to be honest. But primarily, I wouldn't drive it in sound alone when I've got absolute kind of aural delights from the other cars.
Yes.
It's weird in the cockpit. It just, for me, sounds a bit thin and kind of pale.
Now, we're with Jorgen Warby on the wing now. Now Jorgen's just done a 157.418 as his last timing, and we're looking back to that man there, C-Sam. Now, Rodders, I'm sure even you would look at that. Ooh. Crikey, holy moly, even you would attest that having that man behind you is quite unnerving.
Yeah, you can't get rid of him easily. It's usually only a mistake on his part that gets him off your bumper.
Yeah. But fair play to Jorgen Warby, he's held him at bay at the minute. Now Jorgen, as I said, it's just an invalid lap. But to see Sam looking on the inside, I don't think he's got enough time to go on the defensive. Well, he didn't have to go defensive. But on the inside there, has he got the drive? I don't think that Cadillac's got the drive on the BM. Coming into Mercedes Arena now, back on the wing with Jorgen Warby, looking back to see Sam. Just note the way C-Sam handles that Cadillac. Like I said, I was paying particular attention earlier on. He's a master, this fella, at just hooking into you and hanging out of you. Hanging out of you like a mating dog. You can't get rid of him. And someone please tell me in YouTube why their bums stick together. Why is that? Is it their bums or is it something else? I'm not sure. How do we get from Cadillac to dog bums?
I don't know. I was going to elaborate more on that, but I don't think I will now.
I don't think it is their bum. I think it's how the. I don't think we should talk any further about this. CSAM challenging Jorgen Warby around the Dunlop curve, coming up the hill through the Schumacher S's.
Jorgen's Swedish. I should have guessed that from his name, but I don't like to presume. But yeah, his flag indicates as such.
Yeah. Well, he's doing a great job
he's a good,
out there. He's
racer.
certainly keeping CSAM at bay, and you know, the uneducated, or we don't know Jorgen Warby, but you know, you would be forgiven is probably a best way of saying. You would be forgiven by saying that Jorgen is holding CSAM up, particularly if you know CSAM's speed and his ability. But from what I'm seeing here, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm seeing a very fast, smooth drive by Jorgen Warby, and a very hard attempt by someone who may well be quicker at trying to find the quicker line around him.
I think CSAM might be a few tenths quicker around here at the moment. It's not that much. Definitely not. Because otherwise he would be harassing him a lot more than he is. Yeah. Oh, he's went wide there.
Can he just come on? Because you really want the inside line coming around T2 into Mercedes. Oh, sorry, the outside line because of the exit. Yeah. And it looks like he's kept that again, hasn't he?
It's a tough track to pass on if your lap time's very close, because you never really get any zone where there's a really good
toe. What happened there? Crikey, John D. John D. I think Jesus Christ, get me a beta blocker. John D having hard time out there with the hard tyres. You know, started second on the grid, now down to 8th. Had a couple of offs. He's kept it together. That Corvette is quite tail happy sometimes, I think. And in hard tyres, it's probably not helping.
Charger sniffing at him, just like a rabid dog, his tongue out chasing.
Well, he is rabid, isn't he?
I'd like to see a good finish for Charger.
Yeah, and not to change the subject away from the Charger reminded me. I was reminded of Charger at 4:30 this morning when I managed to get to see Ford versus Ferrari, about the wonderful battle between Ford and Ferrari. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Mine was a completely legitimate copy, I might add. But the important thing is that this unknown figure called, Ken Miles. I'd never even heard of him before, which is, ridiculous. This thick-set bulldog brummie living in America, very straight talker, someone who could look at a car and say that's crap and this is the reasons why, above and beyond that of a computer strapped to it. And he was really, along with Carroll Shelby, the architect behind the GT40 and Ford winning Le Mans. Fantastic story. And I was reminded of Charger being a brummie. But yeah, anyway, Charger out there having a good little race.
Yeah, he's doing well.
So yeah, and we'll see. He's in 9th, isn't he? So he's doing well.
So how's Beans doing? I wonder what his gap's like. So I've noticed that the timings when they get to their lowest point, I think that's a true representation of the gap. So you've just got to watch them long enough.
Yes.
It looks like he's really extended it.
He certainly has, yeah. And I'm gonna put myself out there as challenging the status quo of them tyres, because the BM is well set, even naturally.
So, can you bring up his recent lap times?
Absolutely. Blah blah blah.
It's 10
yes,
10
we
seconds.
Can. Let's have a look. There we go. So very.
No, he's just done his quickest.
He has, yeah. So I mean, them tyres are not going off. I mean, he's just really pushing it hard, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to still predict for somewhere from lap 10 we're going to see a drop off.
Okay.
If memory serves.
We'll keep an eye on that.
As I say, the Beamer relies on a lot of its grip for its overall lap time, and it just really seems to lean in. I know it sounds odd because they all lean in their tyres, but driving it seems to lean on them more. And when you lose that edge and they get down to kind of 70%, it seems to have quite an effect.
Yeah. Just flick to CSAM again, giving Jorgen Warby from Atomic Motorsports a hard time in cockpit actually with CSAM, but that BM, you know, Jorgen just has a better drive out of that last corner, out of the Coca-Cola curve, because I mean he's keeping. But look, here's the Cadillac, the longer legs.
That's what I'm saying. If that straight was just a bit longer, he would have no problem passing Jorgen. But the Ring is a tough track to pass on.
They're having a great battle, these two, no question about that. They're thoroughly enjoying it out there, and some respectful racing going on, which is great news. Shout out to Judd and Cos. Anyway, sorry, go on, Rollers.
See, I noticed it in Charder's car, and I've seen it on CSAM's now. The brakes, when he brakes heavily, they flash. It's like that emergency braking system. I don't think all the cars do that. I'll keep an eye out for it, or I'm seeing things.
Discs?
No, the brake lights and the Vet, when you brake full, they flash.
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe a problem with Charger's brake pedal, but I've seen it on CSAM's car there.
Well, let's follow. We're now with Miko Intenza. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So it's sort of like a pulsating LED, isn't it? Rather than a. I don't know if
that's new. I've never seen that before.
No. I know in real life, in my own car, which is an RS5, and I put my.
No.
Yeah, I think
sorry, Tiger. Usually you get a cut when you get that far across.
No, and not absolutely. By all means, cut in any time. There's no nepotism here. I was just. It's quite handy that, as I always try to do on each stream, is try to get my own car in there at some point. But what I was saying was that when I stamp on my brakes on my car, which I don't do very regularly, but when I do, the old hazard lights, flash to basically say caution, Audi driver in front, driving like a knob, braking too late. But yeah, you're right. I've never noticed that.
Is that not extra features they add to Audis just because they kind of know
knobs drive out?
No, because I've had a new car recently and it's got way more gadgets and gizmos than my old one. It does like to. It's a wee bit overzealous than the old. Oh, you better slow down. Oh! It's like, but my wife got caught out once by the emergency braking kicking in because somebody did that crossing the road thing of almost brushing the back of your car. And the car interpreted that as a pedestrian was going to hit the car. And
news rodders. We'll come back to Mrs. Rodders in a minute. It looks like CSAM has now got in front of Jorgen.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see whether he pulls away now. Now, Mrs. Rodders. What happened with Mrs. Rodders?
Oh, she just came back with unhappy, complaining about that feature. So we had a discussion. That was really. But no, it's quite. Sorry, on you go.
No. I was just going to say news from the field. Rick Binnersley now coming out of the pit. Rick being the first to pit, he's now on softs. Is that not a little bit too early? Do you think?
No. So I think what we'd found again, rule of thumb, that you were best running the softs a good bit longer than the hards. It was generally the best strategy. So that's actually feels about right from Rick.
Yeah.
So the question for me is. Now, Beans seems to have a good gap. It's about spot on for the second a lap kind of thing that I was talking about. So, Beans, speed, helmet, CSAM, I think are in the driving seat at the moment. Pinners and Audi are on softs, and I'm not sure if they've got good enough of a gap to hold that place.
Yeah. They're coming up to overtake someone. I think they're overtaking Menacing Skull, actually, in the P45. Oh, I do apologise. Not Menacing Skull. Perhaps it's Ben Davis. Yeah, it is. Was that Ben Davis? No, Frederico's Vanga. So, yeah, Mark Bean. So you said Mark Bean, speed, and helmet, you say, are in the driving seat.
I think so. Speed and helmet both on hards, and Beans with the position he's in.
Yeah, and we can see their helmets times. You know, 138, 137, 137, 136. But his last lap what was his last lap? Best lap. Last lap 138. So I mean, he's approaching the 138.
Sorry, Tiger, you're looking at the wrong column. That's the sector 2 time jump. 155.
Oh God. Yep. Sorry, yeah, thank you for that. 150, but no, absolutely. I was like 138. Crikey, holy moly, he's going somewhere.
I look at his times there, so you can see they're getting consistently quicker, and now he's sitting steadily in the 155. So helmet's settled in nicely. Good solid pace.
Good for him. Let's have a quick rundown from the top. I'll leave the driver profiles on so that as we're running down, you can have a look at the sort of timings that they're putting in. And as Rod has said, you want to be looking at the as you're looking at it, the fourth column under lap time, not not sector 2. And it'll also tell you whether it's valid or whatever. I'll do a quick intro to each one, and then feel free to jump in, Rodders, and add some value. Mark Bean in the BM out there in first place. Last lap, 154.844. Currently in first.
And just to the public, there is a chance he might actually drive a bus you get on, so just bear that in mind.
Indeed, yeah. Then we've got Speed Demon. Speed Demon in the pits now. So he was on hard, so we'll be going to softs now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Speed Demon in the pit. We'll come back to him. Pinpoint now into second place in the BMW there. We can see his times range between a 154 as his fastest up to 155, so fairly consistent. One invalid lap.
If he's smart, he'll stay out, I reckon, at least another 5 minutes, maybe even 10.
Yeah.
In fact, he'll need to pit before 45 because that's when the pit window closes.
Okay. Helmet out in third place, hard tyres, hasn't pitted yet, and again doing well. Looks like he's being chased by CSAM way back there in the distance in the Cadillac.
Yeah, how big's the gap? There's that. I think CSAM might close that. What's CSAM's lap times like? Now he's free from Jorgen.
Well, great segue into CSAM now. CSAM hard tyres. Last lap was invalid, but his best lap was 155.966.
Slightly off pace.
He's off pace, so I don't think he's a threat. So this will be a strategy war, I think, with these top groups, perhaps. Jorgen Walby from Atomic Motorsports in the BMW. Again, we saw a great little battle with him and CSAM earlier on. So we just see CSAM take a back marker there. I haven't seen Jorgen race before, actually.
Jorgen quietly sneaks in and just kind of does races and always does decent to good. But any mistakes from the guys in front, it looks like he'll be happy to mop it up.
Yeah. John D out there in the Corvette started second, now down to 6th, coming into the pits now. That would have been a call between them both, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we'll see. I mean, he's obviously going to get quicker in softs, but I think he'll step up relative to everyone else. He seems to be more comfortable in softs, given his qualifying time.
Yeah. Rigel out there, he's on hard, so he will eventually come in. There he is there, actually. Come in and change to softs. What did we say? We said about a lap 15, lap 16. We're on lap 15 now, so yeah, we called that right. Now, going back up to the top here, Madley out there in the BM, again on hards, chasing Miko Intenza, who's now moved up to 5th place in the rough.
I'm guessing quite a few folk haven't really done too much strategy here. The folk and hards that are still out should really have come in by now.
Yeah.
Expect it will soon.
Which is quite unusual because you'd think it would be the other way around. Do the longest stint on the hards and the last sort of section on the softs. But that's not the case here, is it?
No, it's just there's a second differential to begin with, and it takes a while till that differential's completely lost. And you got to remember the hards. The hards also wear a bit quicker and lose grip than you would think. So you've still got that loss of grip in the hards. So it just turns out that with these cars in the compounds, that's generally the best strategy.
Yeah. Then we've got Flack in 7th place. Flack out there in the yellow BMW, similar, same livery as Mark Bean. He's on softs, hasn't pitted yet either, so he's now up to 7th place. We got Marco in 8th place in the black and red BMW there. So we just see C-Hacks there going wide, coming down to the Advan bend. But Marco out there.
Beer was back in 20th or something. 19th, 18th, 19th, 20th earlier.
Yeah, and Beer has done great. He's out there in the rough. He's on softs for his first stretch, hasn't pitted yet. And as we can see there, his best lap time of 155.7.
So I'm getting overexcited. There's 7 eight people pitted now, so
Yes.
that'll be why he's jumped up so much.
Yes, Seahacks, as we see, skating, just coming out of the Warsteiner down towards Avon in that P45.
Speed Demon he needs to get through this traffic as quickly as possible. He would have wished that they had pitted. He's basically everyone in front of us. Speed is now not pitted.
Yeah. And as Speed looks on the inside there, as Seahacks just clicks him, and then
zips through overzealous there.
Yeah, a bit overzealous, and Speed says, no, come on. So Speed now, but Seahacks on the inside line there, but just hasn't got the leg. That P45 just has not got the legs.
There's no point what I've seen. Demon just now.
No. Well, you know, I mean, make him go around, and he done that, didn't he? Seahacks took the defensive line, but, you know, and as I said, I'm one of the very few people who have had the privilege of spending some time with this man in real life and seeing him drive on a rig, and it's so I was a bit frightened he was going to break it, to be honest with you. It was not gentle.
When I first asked Speed Demon for his force feedback settings back in P-Cars 1 days, I was expecting there's going to be some secret insight here that I don't have. And
a bit of door rubbing, Rodders. Do a bit of door rubbing with beer.
Look, and I kind of instantly realised, Jesus, I couldn't drive with this force feedback. It's brutal.
Yeah.
That's what he likes.
Quite a challenge here. I mean,
Beer will race him. That's just Beer can't help himself.
Yeah. Well, fair play.
It's fair enough. I'm not criticising the lad. It's a bit you fight him. Oh, there's a bit of a spin going into the pits.
Yeah, it looks like someone just coming off there. I think that was Madley actually. But now we're on the straight now, and we'll expect Speed Demon to come on the inside line. Perhaps he's drafting him. He's just getting maximum speed, and there's the advantage there. You're going to have to go all the way around.
Could we jump to Beans quickly to try and work out how far ahead he is?
Absolutely, we're on Beans now, so let's crikey. Well, what we could do is we could go from Beans to Pinpoint at a certain place. Let's go this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's significantly away, isn't he?
So pit stop. I'm trying to remember. I'm getting different cars mixed up in my head, but you're talking at least
40 seconds, 45 seconds, something like that.
I think 40 to 50 seconds.
Yes. And we're saying really, I mean, you know, Mark Bean, Mr. Bean there hasn't pitted. Pinpoint hasn't pitted. CSAM hasn't pitted. Jorgen Walby hasn't pitted. Flack hasn't pitted. The first person to pitted that's any threat to any of those people is that man, Speed Demon.
Yep. Oh, CSAM and Jorgen need to get in because they're just losing time now, unless I've something they know about the tyres that I don't.
Speed now coming up against Flack. So he's got Flack and CSAM in front of him again. Such a shame that we can't bring you the time differentials. We
this is definitely slowing. This is slowing Speed down though, and Beans didn't have this sort of traffic to deal with.
Yes.
In his least part of the soft stint, so.
CSAM into the pits, I think.
I was looking for my phone to try and time it. You could have went to Beans crossing the line and then switch to Speed Demon till he crosses the line. But
well, let's do that. Let's do that, Rodders. We'll do that. So where are we? We're just now coming up to Michelin. We're going through Michelin now. I think that's Michelin into Warnsteiner. Yeah. So now we're going to go down the hill. Yeah. So we're with Bean, first place. Hasn't pitted. His timings are still comparable. I mean, he's still doing 135s out. Sorry, he's still doing 153.
He's hit 153 now.
You know, so I mean, he's not being impeded that much, is he?
No, I mean so it's the balance between going quicker because you've lost fuel, but then your tyres wear, so you go slower. But on the balance of things, his laps are still getting quicker. So it just shows you the softs. It's still worth staying on them.
Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I can even tell now it's going to be right on the button. That's close.
30.
Oh, I think he might be up. It's going to be about 45 seconds crossing the line or slightly less.
40.
There we go. So, right in the ballpark. 40
So
to 50 seconds.
yeah, 40 to 50 seconds. So let's keep a very close eye on Bean, because as soon as Bean goes into the pits, notwithstanding the other 21 drivers out there, the first thing we're going to be interested in is his main competitor, his main nemesis out there on this 5th round of this GT2 league at Nurburgring, which of course is Speed Demon.
And I don't want to ruin the suspense, but Beans is also moving on to hard, so his lap times are going to be down for the remainder. So
indeed,
I think it might be advantage Speed Demon at the moment.
24 minutes and 6 seconds left to go. This man has not pitted yet. He is one of 7 people out there who have not pitted. 2 of those actually are in the pits now. That is Beer, and I believe Charger is. Sorry, it was Beer. I'm sure it was Beer. I think my race director done his own thing at that point. But there's only 4 people that have not pitted, and there's Mark Bean. He's in there now. Let's flick to Jake. Let's flick to Speed Demon. Speed Demon now coming up towards the Schumacher S's. Mark Bean crosses the pit line into the pits. Speed now coming up through the Schumacher S's up to Michelin. Mark Bean coming along the pit into the pit box. Speed Demon. Mark Bean stationary. Speed Demon around Warnsteiner. Mark Bean now in the pits, changing the tyres.
It takes forever to change tyres, and these are one at a time. You're going,
absolutely. It's right now. You're thinking, come on. We need more training. NASCAR. Meanwhile, Speed Demon coming around the last corner, Coca-Cola curve, and he's now going to be on the start-finish straight. Bang! Power out. Let's see where Mark Bean is. Mark Bean just coming out of the exit now. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. But Speed Demon and Mark Bean.
He's ahead.
Looks like Mark Bean is just in front of him. So there we go. That is your first and second place now. That is going to be a battle. But I can tell you right now, in my view, we'll ask Rodders in a minute, but in my view, Mark Bean has not got a hope in hell of keeping Speed Demon away from him. I'll tell you why. 1, he's too close. You don't want that. 2, he's on hard.
He won't make this lap. He's just settling into the hards. Yeah. Good luck, Beans, but...
Yeah, good luck.
I wouldn't be betting on you. Sorry.
Well, no, I mean, he wouldn't take offence to that at all. I mean, and the thing is, Speed knows, you're on hards and they're brand new, and my softs are now, reaching,
So wait, I've got a plan. Speed Demon said we can drag him in at any moment. His words.
He did, yeah. Well, number 2, Discord is all yours. Drag him in.
No, I can't do that tomorrow.
Yes. No, drag him in. Absolutely. Come on.
At least wait to the start finish straight. I'm not that cruel.
You're too soft. You're too soft. I would drag him in. Absolutely. Yeah, now Conscious says lots of other racing going on out there, but we cannot take our eyes off of these 2 right now. It's for first place essentially. Pinpoint is out there in first place, but he has not pitted yet, as we're seeing Jake just, letting Mark Bean know that he's there.
He's
right on the wing there, right on the wing. So Demon on the inside there, coming to Coco. He's got him.
I'll move him. I'm going to pull him down.
Yeah.
Speed Demon.
Hello.
Oh, the temptation to drag you in when you were fighting there was so strong, but you got past now, so I'm guessing hopefully start to pull a wee gap with your softs.
Yeah, hopefully.
Could you sing us a song or something, or tell us a poem, or? You promised that you would.
I would, but I can only hit my push to talk so long around the track.
Speed, how are your tyres?
71% on the front left, which is the crucial tyre around here.
So you think towards the end of the race that you'll be your tyres will be all right?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an issue for my tyres.
Yeah.
Nah, Beans is in hard as well. I can't. You just take it steady, and he's pretty solid in seconds. By the looks, actually, where's Helmet? Obviously he's on softs now. I wonder if there's any threat to.
Well, Helmet is being challenged by John D. They're both on soft. So John D, your teammate, currently running in 5th place, and he's he's stuck to Helmet, in a fairly sort of fairly close area. I mean, less than a second certainly.
Right, Speed. I'll drag you back up. Let you race on. Take it easy.
You're all right. I'm cool to sit here.
You happy? Okay. Just we'll be chatting away, but.
John D and Helmet, look at that. I mean, side by side coming through the S's there. So John D has now taken Helmet. So, John D now up to 4th place.
Yep. John D on softs. It's like a different driver.
Yeah.
He really likes those soft.
Is that Corvette particularly a different car on hard tyres, Speed?
I just think it struggles with understeer when you put the hard tyres on it with the big weight of the motor at the front of the car.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly seeing that now. Conscious of a little battle back here. These two, again, at each other's throats. CSAM and Jorgen Warby. CSAM challenging Jorgen. Jorgen has got back in front of CSAM. CSAM, and behind CSAM, you've got... he has taken him, actually.
Oh, no, sorry. It's Rick's in front of him. Jorgen stuck to him, so...
Absolutely.
You might have been wrong saying that CSAM had pace over Jorgen. Doesn't?
Yeah. CSAM in the Cadillac in a veritable orgy of white BMWs, smack bang in the middle, being sandwiched from both ends. In front of CSAM being Rick Binnersley and Jorgen Warby just behind him. And as you said, he's all over him, isn't he?
Oh yeah, it's not nice when sandwiched between two BMW drivers, because one of them's going to be a... But Rick, they're all on softs, so this looks like a good one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking down the field, Chargers having a wee scrap with Audi, Justin with Miko.
Yeah, there's battles all over, and we intend to bring you as much as we possibly can of them. We'll keep our eye on these three, but let's go and have a look at what's happening with Charger, because Charger and Audi, both in the Cadillacs now, with Charger challenging Audi in cockpit with Charger coming down to Dunlop curve. You can see Audi's on the outside there. Charger's preferred to go on the inside. Who will have the better drive on the way out? Well, it looks like Audi has. He's using the whole track with Charger a bit tighter.
Audi's on hards, Charger on softs.
And Audi is on hards indeed. Charger on softs, yeah. Now, I spoke to Charger about this Cadillac a while ago, and he said, you know what, I would never have thought about jumping in the Cadillac, but there was just something about it when I did. It was just so intuitive.
It's nice to drive. It's just the strange cockpit position. You're miles away from the dashboard, but it is otherwise. It sounds nice, drives nice.
Yeah. I think that's the same car that you can. I was going to say the renting word then, but I think that's the same model in the GT class as the renting. But Charger really challenging Audi now on the wing with Audi.
He's definitely got pace over him in the Benz.
He has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But also just pulling away. Who will break latest?
Audi's got his downforce down a bit. I would expect the Charger to gain a wee bit more there.
Yeah. Great little battle with these two. Them two will be enjoying that. Let's not forget, just because you're... as soon as I took my eye off of it, what happened? Now that's what happens when you're a child star.
I know. It has went to his head a wee bit, I think.
Yeah.
Just all the talk and the adulation.
Yeah.
For his unique award.
Yeah, unique award, the Knobhead Award. Anyway, We mean that in the nicest terms, of course we do. CSAM and York, we've got to go back to these three because this is a great little battle going on here. It would be remiss of us not to give these three guys the right sort of cover. Rick Binnersley in the BMW at the front there, and right behind him CSAM, and then behind him Jorgen Rodders.
Not to change, just to point out, helmet is hanging on to pin. Oh, in fact, sorry, it's not John D's caught pin point up, my bad. I thought he was hanging on to John D, but he's just got to catch pinpoint up now, and pinpoint's on hard, so I expect helmet will pass him.
CSAM, it looks like, has passed, has he not? Rick Binnersley, but you know, fair play, Rick not giving away. I think there was a little bit of a tap there, I'm not sure, but just coming up into what is the NGK chicane, the extended chicane there, and now CSAM is pulled away from them too. And we know, do we not? We know that along the straights there, the Cadillac has got so much length, so much legs. I mean, just look at it.
Even in the toe.
Yeah.
And plus, CSAM's probably lowered the rear downforce because he likes a loose car, so you've no chance in the straights against him.
Fair play to the two BMs though, of Rick Binnersley and Jorgen Walby. They'll have their own little battle there, but again, we'll keep a close eye on the times. Let's have a look at Helmet. Helmet is now looking at Pinpoint. Pinpoint in the BMW in 4th place. Pinpoint has now pitted.
Yep. But he's on hards.
So everybody out there has now pitted. Pinpoint is on hards, as you heard, Rodders, and Helmet now on softs.
Yeah, I still think this will be tough for Helmet to get past. That Porsche's been a wee bit down in pace, and Pinners is having a great race.
Yeah, absolutely. In 4th place there, that's a great place for Pinpoint. But you know, let's not take anything away from it. You know, it's not only a great place, but you know, within viewing distance is of course 3rd place. And that's what Pinpoint is focused on now. He wants 3rd.
He does. He's faster than there. Good line.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, looking back from John D, currently in 3rd place.
Is he catching John up? Or am I
absolutely. No, he absolutely is. That's what I said. You know, I mean, Helmet is challenging Pinpoint, but Pinpoint, you know, don't take anything away from Pinpoint. He's challenging John D for 3rd. In a couple of sections, he really does close that gap up.
Get him, my son.
Who's got the fastest lap at the minute?
Get in there, fastest lap.
I think it's you, but John D's only 1/10 off you. 54.1 for you, 54.2. Where'd they go? Us.
Yeah,
no,
151.1.
I'm looking at last lap.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
153.6 is you speed. 153.9 for Mark. 2nd. And everyone else is in the 154s and above.
Wow. Is that some sort of weird alien ectoplasm rub off onto John D, or is that a bit of training you've been doing together? What's the secret there?
I think he's just I think it just finally clicked. You know that youthful way, he just finally clicked with something, and it just all comes natural. I think that's just what's happened to John D. You know, over the new year. He's come back a different person.
He was talking about just getting his wheel feeling just right, finally, earlier today. So,
just seeing there, Mark Bean still chasing Speed Demon. Mark in 2nd place. Let's have a quick rundown, Rodders.
Yeah, well, I was Jake first, Speed Demon, then Mark down to John D, who I'm not sure in the gap, but I don't think he's going to catch Mark up. Pinners potentially closing the gap. Right behind, and Helmet not past yet, but hanging on, so it looks like these three could be in for a fight. And Rigel, let's go. Rigel's, is he catching up as well to Helmet?
He is indeed, yeah. 0.7 of a second.
So let's keep on Rigel. So there you go, CSAM's not far either, so any wee error from any of these guys and they're going to lose a place. CSAM, then Rick.
I think you find CSAM done 2 pit stops.
Did he?
He came in at the same.
Didn't notice that.
He came in at the same time as me.
Yeah.
Then I saw him coming in a lap later.
And even back to Rick 8th and Jorgen 9th. You're all fairly close at this point in the race. So let's wait to see where Charger comes onto the main straight. It's a fair gap. Come on, Charger. Come on, boy. On you come. There we go. So yeah, we gap to this pack 10th. 11th Audi. Is that Justin straight behind, or is that a back marker?
Yeah,
no,
that's
Madley.
Yep. Madley in the BM.
So that'll be group here, and then we've got Miko. Oh, Miko's got some damage there. He maybe missed some misbehaving, Tiger.
I think that's Miko in the grey.
Oh, sorry. That was Justin.
Yeah.
The damage or some a back marker there on the Porsche. Then Mark on the Beamer again, not far off. Still no huge gaps yet. And who's that behind him? Good old Flacky boy. Oh, watch it, Flack.
Yep. Come on, back on track, lad. That's it.
And then our very own Seahacks, who seems to have struggled a bit tonight. Him and FX are having a good scrap.
Oh yeah, FX is looking at him, but
FX is in softs, so I think Hacks is struggling in these hards. Get him, FX, get him.
Come on, FX.
No bias.
Come on.
No bias, honest. But Seahacks sucks.
Medicine Skull down in 18th place.
Yep, sorry.
Fantastic livery.
Best, and then on to Mr. Davies. Still in. 20th we have Beer. He slipped back down. Oh, he's
so it was Beer in the damaged rough by looks of things.
Aye, he getting lapped, and then Fredericos, I think effectively in last run, and it's only one retiree so far, Fergie.
Yep.
In fact, I asked Fergie in the stream what happened. I'll see if he's responded.
Yeah.
He's on triples.
Cos said he didn't set up his monitors properly, so I'm guessing he had a...
Yeah, I think he just got his triples set up just before qualifying started.
Bugger.
And obviously when he's got into the race, it was a bit hard for him to race.
Jorgen Walby challenging Rick holding Jorgen off. They're not in the same team, just same livery. Don't let the same colour fool you.
Naughty. And it might be a different number potentially. It is. One's 55 and one's another one.
Now, Rodders, we've got 8 minutes left of this race. Couple of things I want to give you a stage for. Talk to me about upcoming races and initiatives, and I'll just move the camera. Oh, someone has come off there.
I think that's Skull.
Was that Skull?
Skull, I think
that was Ben Davis. Yep, it's Ben Davis.
Oh, it's Ben.
Ben Davis is off there.
He's stuck in the sand. Go on, Ben.
He's not hurt. There's no damage to the car. Back on the track safely. Okay, and away he goes. Yeah, Rodders, upcoming events or initiatives.
So the finale at Bathurst is next week for this league, so I think that's going to be a cracker. Pretty much straight away after it, Mr. Speed Demon has set up a long overdue, we think, DTM 2016 league. They're one of the best classes in the game, so that's I think it's going to be a beaut. That'll be running for 6 weeks potentially with an extension. The other biggie so the endurance race we had on the 5th January was a good success, and that was a test race. So we are working on a full endurance series. We want to get something out as soon as possible, but we're kind of doing a lot of background work in the club just now, so it'll be a few weeks I think before we get anything solid in that. But really excited about that because it's the format worked. Everyone really enjoyed it. It went actually above expectations. So I think really the endurance is kind of personally I'm most excited about the up and coming. We've got an invitation race with I've got to get this right. So SL Racing invited us to their league finale.
And just as a reminder for RWB members, SL Racing came along and raced with us on our own 3-hour endurance event, didn't they?
Yeah, we've been racing with them a bit in general recently. Zero Force, it's just kind of from the German side. I think they're both German club. So Discord is not loading messages properly for me at the moment. I was going to say it's like sim race. There's a kind of group that is running the actual league, and there's multiple clubs taking part in it. So they've invited,
channel, is it?
Yeah, something like that. My apologies, I've not recalled the name. We've got 10 RWB places, so that's on the first weekend in February. Is it the 1st of February? So I really appreciate that offer from those guys, and looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Awesome.
Have I missed anything? I think that was it.
So let's recap. Next week we've got the last round of the GT2. Then we've got DTM 2016. There's an invited race up with SL Racing.
24.
You've got the 24 hour on the 17th of January where we've got Speed. We've got CSAM. We've got Brandon Dove, Hayden McLaren, and Xerax, I believe, is going to be racing with us. Is that right, Speed?
No, Xerax is going to be another team, but he's sponsoring our car.
Right, excellent. Well, I mean, Racing Sim Tools as ever. You know, I think we've pretty much linked arms with Racing Sim Tools, and fantastic little app. They sponsored Xerax and from Racing Sim Tools sponsored our FRX F1 league. But as you know, we've pretty much got a relationship with Racing Sim Tools for race room events, I think.
Yeah. Xerax is a good guy, super helpful, and just generally happy to keep involvement with him in the sim tools. So yeah, just back to the race quickly. So Helmet's still hanging on to Pinpoint. Has Sam caught them up any? Nah, it's good about the same.
No, but Pinpoint, as you say, you know, Helmet and Pinpoint have, you know, certainly when they've been that close to each other now for the past 3 laps, you know, and it doesn't look like the gap has closed significantly to John D. So
no, Helmet's going to need a mistake possibly here. He'll be super eager to get past.
Yes.
Oh, they are. Oh no!
Oh, and there we go. Pinpoint, keep it together, old boy. Bloody! I couldn't believe it. I went out the bloody brakes, wasn't it?
Sorry, Pinners. It's Tiger's fault for making me talk about him.
It was my fault, Pinners. I just want to hug you, Pinners. Let's have a hug. Pinpoint now down into 5th place. Helmet has taken 4th place from him. What's such a shame because Pinners was having such a great race, and more importantly, holding that position and hold his own. And then I almost thought he was going to smash into the.
It was Project Cars. The way that corner's designed, I went into the leading edge of the barrier as you turn in at the corner a few times. It's just instant race over. It's horrible.
2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. A quick rundown of the top 10. We got Jake Moore out there, Speed Demon in 1st place. Mark Bean in the BMW in 2nd place. John D in 3rd place. Speed Demon's partner in crime in the Team Alien, Norwegian Alien. Then Helmet, we just had that great battle with Pinpoint. Pinpoint doing such a great job holding Helmet at bay. Helmet exploiting the mistake made by Pinpoint, who slipped into 5th position. Fair play, kept it together.
Sam's got a sniff now.
But yeah, Sam and in pit with Sam getting a sniff of the old.
Oh, he's got the scent. You can see it.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, looking back from Pinpoint, we're going down the Dunlop curve. Yeah, Dunlop curve at the minute, coming up the hill towards the S's. You know,
Jorgen closing in and Rigel as well. Rigel's
very much, yeah.
Last lap now, guys.
What's that, Speed? Sorry.
Last lap.
Yeah.
You're on your last lap. So Speed Demon is now on his last lap. Rigel out there in 7th place, being challenged, as you heard Rodders correctly say there, by Jorgen Warby, who just previously, not long ago, actually was. Look at that! Look at that!
Rigel's going to have to use all that big wide post bum to keep him behind.
Yeah.
Use those flare 3 laps. Right, you're going to need
absolutely. It is a fantastic car.
He'll struggle in the straights. It's definitely one of the slower in a straight line.
Yeah.
Watch what happens here.
It's like the old-fashioned wide body. You know, those rear wheels really give it some stability. But you know what? I think Jorgen's got Rigel on the inside there into T1. Yeah. But Rigel's gone slightly wide in order to come on the outside there. But I just don't think it's going to hold that BM. No.
Nah.
And that is most certainly obviously the whole point of motor racing or even sim racing is that you know, no car is the same.
No, that's good. I just want to say I really feel for Rigel losing a place in the last lap. So that was my spike. Oh, sorry, my spike coming out.
I don't think
Stop
that
it!
was
Stop
you,
it!
was it?
No.
On the last half a lap, keeping an eye on them. There's still a couple of battles going on out there. Speed is out there on his own. CSAM challenging Pinpoint into Dunlop Curve.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, very
Sams
tough.
and softs.
Very, very tough. CSAM is now locked on like an AGM 65A air-to-ground missile. CSAM is now locked on, and
Come on,
he
panels.
won't let go.
Can I make a sudden and last-minute sort of?
Oh, and look, he's taking him there, but no, Pinpoint is keeping on the inside around Warnsteiner. But
oh, he holds it.
Good
Right. Can I? We've not talked about this, but if Pinners holds this, I think Pinners might be man of the match, racer of the event potentially.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go with that as well for a couple of great little events, great little races there. Be good to speak to him as well. I don't think we've spoken to him on. Oh, but CSAM still challenging. Coming to the Coca-Cola Curve. All right, can you get any closer? Can you get any closer without shaving by our Armco?
That was
bloody
right on the edge of what's fair and proper, I think, there, but well done, guys. Jesus.
Well, very well done, Pinpoint and CSAM there. So, first place, Speed Demon. Second place, Mark Bean. Third place, John D. And the driver of the event was Pinpoint. So we'll let them all finish the race now. We're looking at Charger.
Good place for Charger.
Yeah. And then, so that's all your... Now...
what happened to Ride? He's in 10th. Did he have a...
Yeah.
Must have had an off in the last...
I'm not sure.
Is that something up with the...
No, the race director's on auto director now. So it's
but Rigel's dropping down the places. He's in 14th now.
Yeah,
15th.
he is. Well, what's
17th.
Wonder if he's run out of fuel.
Yeah, something's happened to him. He's out.
Oh no! What on earth happened there?
Must have been fuel. His car looks fine.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a new sort of format for the stream. So anyway, let's close that race down. So first place, Jake. Second place, Mark Bean. Third place, John D. Man of the event, driver of the event was Pinpoint. I think we'll probably have to have a chat with Rigel and find out what went on. We'll let Rodders get these guys together. Yep. But there you go. So that was the end of round 5. 2 additional rounds placed onto the GT2 League. That was round 5 at Nurburgring. Now next week will be the final round, the final 2 additional rounds onto the GT2 League, which will be at Mount Panorama. No, I said Mount Panorama, not Bathurst. It hasn't been called Bathurst since 1974. But at Mount Panorama. So there we go. Excellent. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you over to Rodders, who will conduct the end of race interviews. Remember, we had Speed Demon in first place, Mark Bean in second place, and John D in third place. Driver of the event was, of course, Pinpoint, and we'll probably have a chat with Rigel and find out what happened with regards to the end there. So, Rodders, over to you.
Yeah, so we'll go with third place first. And you've got a minute each, guys. We'll keep this short and sweet tonight. But John, cracking race. You qualified fantastically, and you looked like you were really didn't enjoy the hard tyres, and you got on the softs. You were right back in the zone.
Yeah, I had an amazing qualifying lap. I was just parked and started exercising or training on the hard tires right after I set that time.
Nice.
The first 2 laps were kind of okay, and then I started to do all kinds of small little mistakes on the hard tires. So it was fantastic racing there for a while. A lot of scraps with there was Audi, there was Helmet. We were 3 wide in tight turns, and it was like try not to damage and destroy for everybody. It was a lot of change of position there. So it was a great race. It was a cracking result for me in the end.
Well done, mate. That was an excellent race. Beans, you had an excellent start. Managed to get in front when your softs, and you pulled a good gap. We were watching it closely when you pitted, but I guess just in the end, just not quite big enough to compensate for the second stint being on hards.
27% of the tyres just fell off. Literally fell off. And I dropped like second a lap.
I mean, I guess you could have had maybe an extra few potential seconds on speed if you'd pitted maybe a lap earlier, but I think in the end you might have just nailed it. But cracking race from you, excellent early start, just what you needed on soft. So well done, mate. Aye, Speed. Well, you've been in the commentary box for a while anyway, but good race for you. Fairly solid. No dramas.
Yeah, I let Bees go at the start. It was obvious after the first corner that he was on soft tyres, so it was one of them give up the line into turn one, let him go, and just battle away on the hards, and then pit, and then start doing my chlorine back once I got my tyres back on.
They're fairly comfortable passing the end. I guess the differential with softs and hards is quite noticeable. So, no, good solid race, mate. Well done. Pinners, where did he go? Pinners was here.
I think he got Discord shy.
I'll try him one more time. Let's give it a shot.
Well, while you drag him in, let me interject. On the old number 2 owns the end of race interviews. But Rigel, you're in the room. What happened? Did you run out of fuel? What happened?
No, I went back to pit. I don't know if that disturbed my position.
Oh,
I think it did. Yes. Because you were 10th at one point and then it finished 14th, and we actually thought you'd run out of fuel.
It might be. I think it's okay in the results. It's just this, right? Yeah, I get you.
See.
Oh, crikey, finished 8th in the end, I think.
Right. Okay, that's my ambulance. Right, I'm going to drag Pinners in and instantly speak to him. Not give him a chance to run off. So here we go.
Good.
Pinners.
Pinners.
Pinners. Shark.
Yeah,
Pinners.
Okay.
Hello. I pulled you in. Just pulled you into commentary, mate. You were you got racer of the event. We hadn't kind of chatted much about it to the last lap, but we decided if you could hold off. So who was behind you again? CSAM. If you could hold off CSAM behind you, which you did, that was a hell of a last corner. So how was the race for you, mate?
I was going to go hard soft, and right at the last second I went soft, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. But I would have. I don't want to say I would have beat Helmet, but I had one distraction, and I can say whatever, and that was that left-hander. And I threw it away. But
we caught it, mate. It was just you really were holding them off well, sir. But I thought it was a great race from you. Really solid, and you were really consistent. So well done.
Thank you. Thanks to the driver.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Yep. I think that's everyone.
Excellent. Well, there you go. That was round 5 of. Those are 2 additional rounds. Round 5 at Nurburgring. We've spoken to first, second, and third, and of course, congratulations to Pinpoint for being nominated as driver of the event. Wonderful. Join us next week. We're going to be at Mount Panorama, Bathurst in it's Mount Panorama in Australia. And we'll be at Mount Panorama. Bloody hell, words today, aren't I? You're going to be seeing rodders out there, I'm sure, and all the names that you're all familiar with now. All your teammates in RWB, you'll be able to see them wanging it around Bathurst, which is fantastic. You heard Rollers earlier on talk about our DTM 2016 initiative, the endurance events, etc. Lots of things going on. If you're an RWB member but haven't dabbled or dipped your toe for a little while, don't remotely be concerned about doing so. Get back in it. You've got to be on it to in it, to be in it. You've got to be in it to win it. Good luck with that one. But welcome back. So there you go. Thanks very much. If you want to find out anything about RWB and you're not an RWB member, just zip along to rwbracing.club. Click on the Discord link, come on in, be made welcome, and then try your hand. You don't know till you give it a bash. Thanks very much. I've been Tiger. He's been Rodders. You know what we say. Don't race alone. Race RWB. Till next time then. Bye-bye.